Hi there. So, welcome back to part 2 of our new approach to colouring. If you remember last episode, we basically just coloured this as you would normally colour a piece of artwork. I zoomed it right out and I coloured it with large brushes and dabbed the highlights and lighting solution straight onto it. I wasn't really caring that much. So since then, I've took samples of colour and laid them down here. Yeah. So this is it. The backgrounds for sort of panel 3 and sort of panel 4. I've used a natural brush with a light opacity just to get the feeling of transparency in the leaves. If you look at a branch, if you look at the trunk of a tree with the sun shining through it, the leaves closer to the center of the canopy will be darker than the ones at the outside. It's an example of effectively subsurface scattering. So we've done this. Let's just bring up the next layer. This layer. I painted this background in, and I sort of try to best match the perspective, and I drew this little ruined temple here to sort of signify, you know, this is Greece, this is a play, you know, that sort of thing. What else did I do? The highlights. Yeah, so I sampled the yellow from the colour model and made a new layer and airbrushed just the tips of the form in this yellow, which gives us that lovely highlight. Then I went and did a layer of last episode, if you remember, we did an ambient occlusion map, an ambient occlusion pass, which is this grayscale stuff, and I've done a very subtle SL hue saturation value, hue saturation levels adjustment on there, just to give it, as it was black, it was muddy in the colours a bit much. It's a bit muddy under the arms there, so putting an adjustment level on there just to give it something a bit more interest. And then I did some levels of shading, and I'm using purple for my shading, so there's just general shading on the body and some tree trunks, and then to emphasize more the roundedness of the tree trunks, I added another layer of shading here. Yep, level 20 or something, that don't know. Okay, I still feel that this back layer was still very far forward. It felt this whole area feels flat. I wanted this to feel like it was receding into the distance, so I've basically put a layer of white over it to sort of help sell that. And if we zoom out, that's pretty much how I finished off this page. Finally, slap some text on there, and you are good to go. So that's how I've done this page. It was an interesting approach to colouring a page, and I'll be doing it for the rest of this story. So I will probably do another couple of videos of this. I think there's a technique in there. I think there's a workflow that could work. Just need to sort of nail it down. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you. Yes, sorry. Let's just backtrack, shall we? 2 layers I forgot to switch on. One is some subsurface scattering, which is just on the ears and the nose there. You can see it on Puck. He's got it on all these things now. And the other thing is just these little, typical. Well, there you can't see it. Here, yeah, just these little sprites dancing around in the background, sort of make the forest look more magical. And I think that works really well. It's just a yellow airbrush, really small brush, drawing a little path, and then I go back and I pick an end and say that's the direction it's travelling in, draw a little dot, and then with a bigger brush, lower opacity, even lower opacity level, I just brush it a few times to build up a trail. And I think that works really well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this page. Is coming together really nicely. I think it'll look great printed. I think it'll look really good. So I'll be doing the rest of the pages like that, and I'm going to try and adapt this into an existing workflow. I still think there's value to be had in flatting artwork and laying down flat tones, but I think there's something to be said for building up a colour model before we even worry about flatting it. So maybe there's two approaches. One is we develop a colour model for the page and we decide what colour goes where and what the highlight should look like, and we put that in a layer that effectively we can throw away later. We then flat the document and start filling it in tones that with some, and then go from there. Yeah, that's it really. This is a very short video, really, but next video hopefully will be another drawing video, and it will be mini comics. So stick around for that. If you did find this interesting, if you found it useful, you found it in any way sort of entertaining, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and all of that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye now. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're still subscribed and rock the bell for notifications. Okay, bye bye now.